Strive not to be success, but rather to be of value. A quote by Albert Einstein. Good morning, everyone. With immense pleasure, I welcome the dignitaries, faculties, and all the participants to the national webinar on the topic Informed Consumer is an Asset to the Nation, organized by the Citizen Consumer Club of Ethiraj College for Women, Chennai, Tamil Nadu. Let us now begin our today's program by invoking the blessings of the divine grace. I now request Ms. Nitya Shri to render the invocation song.
நீராறும் கடலுடுத்த நிலமடந்தை கிழிழொழுகும் சீராறும் வதனமென திகழ்வரத கண்டமிது தெக்கணமும் அதில் சிறந்த திராவிடனல் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு பிறை நுதலும் தரித்தனரும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிலமை திறம் வியர்ந்த செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்ததுமே வாழ்த்ததுமே வாழ்த்ததுமே.
Thank you, Ms. Nitya Shri. Now I request Ms. Mohana Jayalakshmi, Secretary of Citizen Consumer Club, to give the welcome address.
A very good morning to one and all present here. On behalf of Citizen Consumer Club at Raj College for Women, I welcome you all to the national webinar on the topic, Informed Consumer is an Asset to the Nation. Consumers are the ones who buy or avail commodities or services. In the process of buying the goods and services, till the time they use those goods and services, they have certain rights and responsibilities as a customer, which he or she is not always aware of. This might happen due to lack of knowledge and ignorance. Consumer awareness means being conscious of having knowledge about the various consumer protection laws, redress mechanism, and the consumer rights. The government has given each and every consumer a set of rights. It is the responsibility of the consumer to also follow through on several duties provided to them. Consumer responsibilities are just as important as consumer rights. To elaborate on the topic, Informed Consumer is an Asset to the Nation, we have with us our resource person, Dr.P.V.V.S.Murthy, BSc, BL, MBA, PhD, who has 20 years of industrial experience and 18 years of teaching experience. Dr. Murthy has served as a member of District Consumer Forum, Vijayawada. He is also an author and has published 28 books, out of which 2 books are published by the Indian Institute of Public Administration. He is also the founder of a strong international consumer advocacy group in WhatsApp, in which all the states in India are represented. I take great pleasure in welcoming Dr. P.V.V.S.Murthy as our resource person today. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you, Mohana, for the warm welcome address. Now we feel deeply honored to have with us our resource person, Dr. P.V.V.S.Murthy, to deliver the webinar address.
Thank you, Lakshana. Your name is very good.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning to all of you. I bring good wishes to all the faculty members, organizers, and the students from the members of our group. Good morning. I richly compliment management of Ethiraj College for Women for organizing this purposeful meeting. The principal and secretary, Dr. S. Kotai, vice principal for aided courses, Dr. Rusha Rani, vice principal of self-supporting courses, Dr. Usha Priya, and more importantly, the coordinator of the Citizen Consumer Club, Vijayalakshmi, who is instrumental in bringing me here. Thank you very much. You all know that today we are discussing about the importance of becoming aware, because the topic is assertive consumer is an asset to the nation. Why? Every one of you believe or understand that knowledge is strength. When once you know that you are upsetting the ecological balance by your habits, if you realize to what extent you are doing it, if you realize to what extent you are wasting the water, if you realize to what extent you are contributing to water pollution, air pollution, or to plastic pollution, definitely as a sensible person, I am sure you would restrain from doing such activities. That is, ultimately, you are preserving our planet Earth. This is one aspect that makes the informed consumer at a high pedestal, and he is an asset to the nation. So, with this brief importance of an informed consumer, now I wish to express my happiness, or rather, I am delighted to come to this particular program to make you understand on some critical aspects of consumer life. Usually, when we organize meetings, public meetings outside the educational institutions, we get only men as our audience. Women are not seen because they are busy with their domestic matters and they don't find time to come to the meetings. And whenever they are free, we don't hold the meetings during that time. That is particularly after 12 o'clock or 11 o'clock, or before 4 o'clock. Usually we conduct meetings at 10 o'clock. They are engaged in their domestic aspects and they don't attend. The problem is when we educate men, they listen and forget about it. But when we educate women, then they carefully listen what we say. Not only that, they also educate the other members of their family and even their neighbors. This is one way our adage says, educate a woman and she educates the entire family. I am very happy to participate in a program organized by a college for women, and I welcome all the members of Citizen Consumer Club. This name itself is something suggestive. As a citizen, you have responsibilities, and as a consumer, you have even more responsibilities. So you'll have to perform both the responsibilities. But quite often we find that people are fighting for their rights, but not on their duties or responsibilities. Perform your responsibility first and then fight for your rights. But now the trend is in reverse. They are fighting for the rights, but not caring for their responsibilities. This is one aspect. Please keep in mind. Consumers have greater responsibility towards the environment in which they are living. If you spoil the environment, it is only planet Earth which can host the human race. There is no other planet so discovered in the universe which can host, like our mother planet Earth, the human race. So preserve planet Earth. Otherwise, you are destroying yourself. These are our consumers' main responsibilities. Don't use plastic. Plastic is the greatest menace. And similarly, don't waste water. All these aspects, probably many people must have suggested you from many years, but that is not getting into your or not imbibed into your thoughts. Always think of Mother Planet Earth, how to preserve the environment, and how not to upset the ecological balance. So I started my talk only with consumer responsibilities. Every minute, please think that you are responsible for the environment. Some people may think that how is it we can do about this environment when all the nations are polluting the air, industrial pollution is there, alone what I can do. United Nations has given a beautiful suggestion. Think globally, but act locally. Whatever you can do to preserve planet Earth, do it. Plant a tree. That's wonderful. The saplings are planted. One day they grow up, become trees, and they give you a lot of oxygen. Everybody knows about it. But how many of you really planted unless your college authorities one day take you for plantation work? Even at home, before your house, on the roadside, you can plant a sapling and protect it and water it. Please do such things. It's only to preserve planet Earth. The second resolution which you are supposed to make is avoid plastic. Plastic menace is reaching its height. One day, the globe gets destroyed only by the plastic we are using, unmindful of the adverse effects of this plastic. We are using them just for our convenience. Please stop it. Please stop it. And explain to your generation not to use plastic. Particularly, start with restricting use of one-time use of plastic, like straws and other things which you are recklessly throwing on to the surface. This is one aspect. So I started this talk only with a humble advice to all the students or the youth to save planet Earth. This is one aspect that every consumer should keep in mind. And the importance of women in consumer movement need not be emphasized. Women are the most important people to lead the consumer movement, but unfortunately, today's consumer movement is led by men. You will have to take over because whatever you do it meticulously. And educating others people, you are experts. So this is time for you to think that you should come out and enter into the consumer movement. If you are aware, the first or the earlier consumer organization for the first time in the independent India was established only by 9 housewives who were rather upset with the kind of adulteration or contamination that being done for the food items during 60s. They sent the products to laboratory, found that all the products which they have sent to the laboratory were adulterated. And please bring a food safety officer to your club and make him to speak to you on how to detect food adulteration. There are some home tips through which you can easily detect the food adulteration at home itself without having any laboratory facilities. Do it, learn it. and please explain the tips to your fellow consumers. This is more important for people at your age to transform the society. This is more important for women students, the girls who are studying degree and intermediate or in the post graduation should take up these activities immediately. Know the adulteration, what kind of product is being put into your food item for making profits by unscrupulous traders. And you know pretty well that the milk is adulterated. That is one product that can easily be adulterated with water. You can detect and you can complain to the food safety officer of your district. Then definitely you will find the results. Such kind of activities this citizen consumer club can organize in future. And have you ever introspected or have you ever thought for a while what are your habits, consumption habits? Many of us seldom do this kind of introspection. Our habits ultimately decide what type of consumers we are. For instance, after the college, I'm not criticizing you, but please think, some of you, this you need to have self introspection on this. You need to have self introspection. After the college, after you go home, immediately you put your book somewhere and then sit in a comfortable chair viewing video programs, the TV programs. Are you not? At least some. At least some of you are doing it. Then you purchase some chips packet from the market before getting it home. Why you want to purchase food made outside the home? It has become a fashion. It has become a fashion. Whatever you want to eat, eat home food only. Now and then if you are taking food outside home cooked food, that is not a big concern. But some of us, including me, like mirchi bhajis sold on the roadside. And we are simply forgetting how those bhajis are made. They are boiling oil 3 days, 4 days, the same oil they are using, making the food items, and ultimately the oil got totally polluted with carbons. And if you regularly eat such items in the made out of oil used for several times, that is carcinogenic. That means over a period of time, if you eat such foods, it may affect your health and may cause cancer even. Be careful about your food habits. And one girl who used to get a chips packet every day, sitting before the TV, she never bothered even to remove the staple with the hand. She used to peel it with her teeth and take chip from the packet, viewing the TV. she was eating the chips. After some time, she developed some stomach pain. And stomach pain usually it comes and goes. But continuously, this girl was suffering from stomach pain for a week. Worried by that condition, her parents took her to hospital and a doctor ordered for a scan. And in the scan, they found 4 or 5 staple pins in her stomach that caused her pain. So they had to remove those pins. But unaware of the swallowing of the staples, actually this girl was ignorant of taking the staple pins. She was eating the chips. Such things might happen. You may think that it's a strange case. But if you are in the same habit, I don't get surprised even if you are affected by those staples. This is one aspect. And many of us are under the strong belief that adulteration is mixing something to the food product or any other product. But what the definition of adulteration is given in the FSSAI, the Food Safety and Standard Authority of India Act, defines adulteration as anything that is added, any adulterant that is added, or any natural qualities that are removed from the product, that is also adulteration. For instance, the clove we are using in masala, they are selling the clove by extracting the oil first. That means clove oil is extracted and only the clove without oil is sold in the market. That is removing the natural quality. And some are removing even the fat from the milk. If you want fatless milk, it's okay. You are choosing to purchase less fat milk. But people who are selling milk, bringing in the vessel to your home, they are removing even the fat. That itself is defined as adulteration. Not only that, if the food items are prepared in unhygienic places, that is also adulteration. Where are these mobile carts, food carts are placed by the side of the road? By the side of the road, eventually you find a drainage. On the drainage, they keep this food cart. So when the food cart is placed on the drainage and they are cooking food there, whatever food that is cooked is adulterated according to the definition given in under Food Safety Act. Please remember, even today, some housewives are that if one edible oil is mixed with the other edible oil, it is not adulteration. Like what people are doing now. They are mixing palm oil, which is cheaper, into ginger oil, which is costlier, or groundnut oil, which is costlier. But they don't bother about such adulteration. But let me caution you, for groundnut oil, you are paying more money. For palm oil, you are paying less money. The price is less. So when both are mixed, you are not receiving the product to your money's worth. You are the loser. So know the tips. How to find the adulteration in oil. There are simple home tips are there. That's why I am requesting the coordinator of this club to arrange a meeting with food safety officer who would be able to tell you how to detect adulteration at home. This is one aspect actually I wish to bring to your notice. And there are many problems like this. There is not even one. If I am asked to say a few examples, how consumers' habits are really making them to suffer. You are going to market for purchase of groceries, are you not? Mostly your mothers may go, but now and then you may also be going along with your mother, or you are going independently to purchase some groceries. So in such a case, I am asking you a straight question. Are you ever checking the weight after you take delivery of the packets from the cash counter? I am sure 90% of you are not doing, simply believing that it is pre-packed item. They are showing it 1 kg, so it is 1 kg. How can you believe? When the marketplaces are becoming the brooding centers for all kinds of market frauds, how can you believe? When that weight is taken in your absence, how do you believe that it weighs 1 kg just because it is printed on the packet? So make it a habit always to recheck the weight. So one-time investment. Keep an electronic balance, purchase an electronic balance and keep it at home. And when they say it is 1 kg, do it. Plus or minus 2% is allowed by legal metrology department. Beyond that, if you find difference, that is an offense. This is you are habituated to accept the price printed on the pack. You will not be even knowing to what extent you have lost your money. It goes against your economic welfare. Please recheck the weight after taking delivery. This is time for the consumers to demand that all the big supermarkets must install a weighing machine by the side of cash counter, so that immediately the consumers or the customers can recheck the weights. That is not being done. The second habit of many of us is we never read the information furnished in the packet. What for that information is furnished? According to packaged commodities order, 5 informations must be given on the packet itself. That is only to educate the consumer. But the consumer is not in the habit of reading that material. He thinks that he is too busy. He has to put in the cart some 30 items. So every packet he cannot read. That is his impression. But many of us have brand weakness. You will be selecting the product basing on the brand which you like, or you are selecting the brand basing on the price. These are the only 2 aspects. But another aspects are also there. for consumer information. Then only a consumer becomes the informed consumer. What is that? Date of packing and the date of expiry. All the time the packers are printing best before, mostly on drinking water and other things. Best before stamp is given. On making it as the date of expiry, like medicines. A specific date or month is given, and before that month it should be consumed. As a consumer, you must note that. Not till the end of that month. It expires by July 22nd. Stop taking it from June itself, because this is our health. Tomorrow the manufacturer may say that this product is valid till July. But as a consumer, you can always say, no, I do not want to take that product at the fag end of that product's life. Take it 1 month before. But consumers are not assertive. Consumers should be informed as well as assertive. Nobody is fighting for this. So please check. And if they are medicines, definitely you'll have to see the expiry date. If it is a dangerous disease and the antibiotic which you are taking is expired, then what you can do? Will it work on your disease? Then what happens? Already the dangerous disease entered into your body. Be careful. In a study conducted by Consumer Education and Research Center, Ahmedabad, they found that C vitamin tablet, the consumer should always purchase close to the manufacturing date. Never ever purchase C vitamin close to the expiry date. Why? Because after packing, the C vitamin tablet is losing its potency day by day. That's what the Consumer Education Research Center observed and informed all the consumers. So look at the information furnished. You are looking at MRP. You are looking at the expiry date. You are looking at the contents of the packet. Some packets are not visible, not see-through. You cannot look at the products that are packed. So they'll have to give a description, general description. That is what is called generic description. Whether they packed a scissors in this, or a knife, or a nail cutter, or turmeric, one should know. If these informations, along with the address of the manufacturer and the packer, if provided, you can file a case against those people who sold that product. Otherwise, you are missing important information, and definitely you cannot file a case because you throw away the packet after the material is consumed. How you can file a case against the manufacturer? Where is the product liability then? Change your habit. Read the label. This is more important. Another aspect, as mobile owners, most of you are getting so many SMS to your mobile that you won a lottery. Do you believe? You have not even purchased a lottery ticket. How you can win a lottery? This is $1 million question, but some gullible consumers are entering into that site, and all the privacy is lost, and the hackers or fishers, whom you, whatever name you call them, they enter into your bank account and steal away your money. Regularly it is happening, and cyber police stations are now established, and government is educating consumers day in and day out that if you have lost money by a cyber fraud, you please inform the cyber police within 24 hours. They have created a website also for such complaints within 24 hours, so that the money will not be siphoned out to some other country. In India, the fraudsters mainly, I am sorry to say, because I am speaking to the college students of Chennai, in Mumbai, Delhi, and Chennai are the centers for such fraudsters. Be careful. Change your habits. If you introspect, you will definitely know what kind of weaknesses you have as a consumer. If you are greedy, if you want to earn 1 crore with 1 rupee, how is it possible? Your greed all may lead you to heavy loss. Greed is a weakness. You may not be thinking that it is greed, but introspect how 1 rupee can make you a millionaire or a billionaire. Is it a story? Is it a business success story? As a consumer, you must be alert. Don't think others will come and protect you. You'll have to protect yourself. An informed consumer can protect himself. That's how he becomes an assertive consumer, and he becomes an asset to the nation. But many of you don't care for these small things. And at certain times, I have observed many consumers even don't ask for change. The cumulative effect of not asking for the remaining balance from the seller cumulatively comes to few thousand crores per annum. That is what is being done in petrol bunks. They round off. And very recently, a judgment has come that if it is round off to the next rupee, that is a frivolous case. And even the consumer will be penalized for complaining on such minor matters. Whether it is minor or major, consumer should be assertive. Then only he can protect himself. And there are other aspects which the consumer should also take into consideration. When I am handling these habits of consumers, I explained to you that you are not rechecking the weights. I explained to you that you are not reading the information furnished on the packet or label. Number three, you are not in the habit of bargaining. Some people are thinking, some consumers are thinking that they are not in the habit of bargaining, and bargaining is below their status. Is there any status involved in it? MRP, which is printed on the packet, is bogus, is inflated. It is not certified by any government because manufacturers are given liberty to print any fancy price on the packet because we don't have a price commission as it is existed in European countries. Nobody is verifying the price fixed for a product. Whatever price the manufacturer prints on the packet is correct. And our government is of a strong belief that in the mixed economy, the market forces would settle to a reasonable price. If some manufacturer puts a high price, probably his product will not be sold in the market. So he loses the sale for his competitor. So automatically it is the manufacturer who is printing lesser price would get the demand. But there are some consumers who believe that if the price is more, the quality is more. This is purely a wrong notion. The quality is not in proportion to price. The quality products may have high price. That's a different case. But high priced items, suppose if competition is not there, take for instance the electronic gadgets. They are 2-3 times more than the reasonable price because manufacturer printed that. Look at these prices on the medicines strip. How the pharmacists are selling at 25% less or 30% less because the pharmaceutical industry printed an inflated price on the medicines. Why generic medicines are so cheap and why branded medicines are so costly? General of medicines can certify that the generic medicines are inferior in quality. There are some wrong notions in the minds of the consumers that you will have to get rid of these wrong notions. Look at Diwali crackers. Look at medicines. Wherever you go, you find the price printed in the packet is highly inflated. 2 times or 3 times, or at least minimum 100%. 50 rupees, the original price would be only 25. So MRP is not a believable price. So don't think that MRP is government price. No, MRP is a notional price. It is only the person who is bargaining or consulting various dealers would come to know who is the dealer selling that particular product at a cheaper price. So go to 2-3 places, check the price, because the price printed on the packet is not genuine price. Now all the big retailers, even some multinationals, they offer huge discounts. How some digital platforms, online platforms are offering you less than the price that is being offered in the local market. Either there might be some quality inferiority or reused product made out of recycling or things of that nature. But still, whatever image that is put in the website, the color, the shining, or the utility value that is being exhibited in the image may not be true if you are purchasing online. Color may differ after you receive the product. Of course, they are giving you without assigning any reason. That's why now online business is flourishing. But having received it, you have waited for the product to come to your place for 10 days. It has come. So having taken delivery, you are compromised. So even if the color is slightly different, I can adjust with it. So likewise, every consumer is to some extent is not getting to his expectations. A consumer should get the product to his expectations. So please change your habits. I am focusing on changing your habit. Without changing your habit, I don't think that you are becoming an informed consumer because you don't also change that habit of getting information. Have you thought of the source from which you are getting the product information? Where from you are getting this consumer education? Is it only Jago Grahak Jago? Or are there any other means to know the information which you require to spend your hard-earned money wisely? This kind of self-introspection is required at this hour. Already we have lost a lot of time in knowing these things. Tomorrow, let your children not think that you have not properly educated them. If you get yourself educated, the next generation will automatically get educated. That's what for. You need to change your habits. You are purchasing notebooks. On the notebook, it is printed. It is 142 pages or 150 pages or 156 pages. Have you ever counted number of pages after purchasing the notebook? Seldom you do it. I never did it. Do it, you will know what kind of frauds the notebook manufacturers are resorting to. It is with your money you are purchasing all these products. How can you ignore the essential information? You can even file a case in consumer court. That is not a frivolous case. It is a cheating. Having announced that this has this kind of quality defect, you can not only approach consumer courts, you can also approach police station because it is covered by IPC. That is cheating. Fake products are being sold in many rural villages. People are not that educated there. And many of you may be coming from villages, because you are educated. This is how things are happening. In the next weekly Sunday, let us not buy things blindly. Let us weigh the groceries. Let us look at the quality. Let us look at the brand name also. Fake products are made by simply altering one letter For instance, to maker, there is a fake product saying Bala. The logo is designed in such a way it exactly resembles Bata. But instead of T, he put L. And suppose if the regulatory authorities book a case against him, he said, I am not selling it as Bata. Look at the spelling, it is Bala. People are resorting to such kind of mischiefs. Definitely, when that fellow is imitating the logo of Bata, it is an offense. You'll have to educate the fellow consumers in the villages on such aspects. The informed consumer, then only you become an asset to the nation. You are saving your fellow consumers. And it is only the informed consumer who can have solidarity with fellow consumers. Now consumers are disorganized. There is no unity. Though we say that in India there are 140 crores of consumers roughly, these consumers are not united. So what is happening? No businessman is really caring the consumer, though they say that consumer is the king or consumer is our God. All those are coming only from their lips, not from their heart. Only to cheat them, they are using these words, king and God. But they are cheating them. Why they don't have fear? Because they know pretty well that no two consumers fight for a single case. That is their confidence. And it is partly true also. I am telling you very frankly, whenever we organize a physical meeting to create consumer awareness, we don't get a good number of audience. Everyone is busy in their own way. They do not pay interest in listening to the matters which they are supposed to listen. This habit should be changed. Whenever you come across a public meeting organized by a consumer organization of your place, at least take time, spend an hour there, listen to what they say, because they highlight the frauds that are being taken place in that particular locality. And once you know such frauds, you will keep away from them. In some season, some fellows come home to polish your gold ornaments. And all the consumer organizations are trying to explain to the housewives not to give their gold to those fellows who are coming to your place to polish your ornaments. During the process, they are knocking away some gold and running away because you will not be having their address and anything. You cannot go to the police even. Now, at last, Government of India has come out with a hallmark to prevent jewelers to cheat consumers with lower quality of gold. In one survey, there was a very shocking revelation that the jewelers were selling 19 carats gold in the place of 22 carats gold, which is supposed to be the ornament gold. Pure gold is 24 carat, ornament gold is 22, but they are selling the jewelry at 19 carat. It is brought to the notice of the government by a survey. So the women are believing the jeweler. They purchased that gold and lost 3 carats, which runs to, during the time, few hundreds of rupees. That's a loss. The more the weight of the gold, more they are losing. Keep your ears and eyes open when you go into the market. That is the need of the hour. At least you, by experience, your experience is your information. But don't forget that you will have to inform your experience to your fellow consumer. At least that gentleman will not be or would not become a prey for such frauds. Very recently, I came across a complaint given by MBA student. She opened Twitter. When she was browsing various things from the Twitter, she found a kind of publicity from an investment consultant about the opportunities for investment. So this girl developed interest on those opportunities, interacted with that consultant. She is convinced that it's a good opportunity for investment, and she invested 15,000 rupees without even consulting her parents or consulting any other experienced person. From the next day onwards, this particular consultancy is deleted from the Twitter. He is not available even on the phone, though he made her to believe that everything is genuine. He is not responding to the telephone call of this girl. So when once the money is lost, it is very difficult to recover. Why it happened? Because of her habit in not consulting an experienced person in that particular field. It is nothing wrong. Take some time. Consult elderly people. At least they will try to give you some advice. But in haste, if you youngsters take your own decisions and go for such fall prey to such fraudsters, then it becomes difficult to protect you. Even the police can't do anything. So I have mentioned about several habits now you are entertaining. This is not a criticism against anybody who is before me, behind me. I am telling some habits which are to be changed by the youngsters, because it is you only who is going for irrational buying. Rational buying is okay. Rational buying includes several examinations. You look at the product, you look at the quality, you look at the price, you look at so many things. And finally, you look at its reliability and durability. That is a rational buying. But how we are buying nowadays the soaps? What is the parameter to select a soap? Do you know the difference between a soap and a, a bath bar, bathing soap, bathing bar, and a soap? If TFM is 60 and below, it is called bathing bar. But we don't differentiate. We simply say that it is soap. Soap is costlier because TFM is more. Some manufacturers are even giving us TFM at 80. What about the rest? It's only moisture. It is not really the weight of the soap that is to be taken into consideration. You will have to take into consideration the TFM before purchasing a soap. But many of us, including me, I don't look at TFM. I don't look at the weight. I don't look at the price. But I look at smell. It's good. I'll go for that soap. And it is the case with many of consumers. This is time for us to change our habit. The smell, whatever you are getting from the soap, may not last for long on your body. What is more important is whether that particular soap is injurious to your body. Does it do any harm? What are the ingredients of that particular soap? Because mostly in soaps, the industrial oil is used as one of the ingredients. I don't think that it is so good for the body, and whatever you rub on the skin, it goes into your bloodstream also. This is one reason why scientists are advising us not to put too much of perfume on the body. This we'll have to learn, because if any ill health is caused by such perfume, you are losing heavy months of the treatment which you are taking next, subsequently. So, dear consumers, shed your habits. And because this is a girls' meet, and many of you don't assist your mothers in cooking. Now and then you visit kitchen. There you find a gas cylinder and a gas stove. And you never care to understand when there is a gas leak, how the gas comes out and in which direction it flows. In the upper direction, or whether it flows in horizontal direction, or it flows downward direction, or diagonally. How it travels, the leaked gas from the cylinder, how it travels, that is more important to save your life. If we are not educated in that manner, then problems would arise. Please remember, flows downwards because it is heavier than the atmospheric air. It flows like water. Water flows downwards. So ultimately, don't try to open the ventilators as if the gas is leaking out upwards. You open the outlets for water, through that it goes out. Otherwise, it accumulates in the room. If it reaches up to the level of your switchboards, then the problem comes. And if it goes to nearer to the refrigerator always switches on, switches off according to the temperature it gains. At that time, there will be a spark. And that spark is enough to catch fire. Whenever you operate a switch, there is a spark inside the switch. That's enough to cause a fire accident. This is one aspect. Second aspect, how to claim insurance. You are not insured. Then in case of a blast of a gas cylinder, would you get insurance? Yes, definitely you would get. Because the oil companies insist the dealer to take a multi-peril policy. And in case of any such fire accident or blast, if there is a death or property damage, the multi-peril policy insurer claim of the consumer. The insurance company must pay to the consumer about the loss incurred. So these are certain aspects. When I say informed consumer, this is also informed consumer. This information is also required. You may not be getting it through channels. You may not be getting through some other education on your own. You'll have to make a study. Next time when you are going to kitchen, please observe how the regulator is fitted. What is the condition of the tube that connects the regulator and the gas stove? You need to focus on such matters when you go to kitchen, not on the food. Food in any way will be served to you after it is cooked. But safety point of view is more important. Consumer Protection Act has given you 6 rights. If I don't mention about the act, then you may be thinking that what is this? The gentleman spoke for 1 hour, but never tried to bring to our attention about the provisions of the Consumer Protection Act. First, I inquired from your teachers, and you will be taking so many classes like this from various resource persons. And they have already explained to you about the provisions of the Consumer Protection Act. But now I am touching upon, because of the context, I said you have a right to safety. That is the first right given in the Consumer Protection Act. What is safety? Safety is right to protect yourself from hazardous goods and services. And every household has two of such things. One is electricity, very dangerous. And the second one is gas cylinder. But we are happily living in the house without any alert on these two installations that are being provided in the house, at home. Please look at the switchboard. If you find anything which may cause future problem, try to get it rectified. Same is the case with your rubber tube fitted to the gas cylinder. Some of the housewives are going into the market, getting a tube and fitting it, and the tube will not last for not even 1 year. But some housewives are using this rubber tube for years together, till they feel the smell of the gas. Then they suspect that there is some leak from the rubber tube, and they try to replace it, that too without the help of the dealer. Never ever replace anything, because that gas cylinder is not your property. That connection is given only by you are like a tenant. You hire their services. The equipment doesn't belong to you. You are paying only for the gas. You are not paying for the cylinder. Cylinder belongs to the company. Might be you are purchasing the gas stove, but you will have to protect yourself. For protection, you need to replace the tube whenever the gas delivery boy comes to your. We have fitted this tube some 2 years ago. Please check whether this is time for us to replace it. If it is to be replaced, please bring a new tube and you pay him the money that he charges. Because ISI quality tubes are required at this stage. And make a study of the cylinder. On the cylinder, whether the cylinder is fit for use or not is indicated on the plates under the ring. On the top of it, on the top of the cylinder, you find a ring. Under the ring, there are 3 pillars, some plates. Behind the plate, they write when it is due for check. If the cylinder is already due for check and that gas cylinder is supplied to you, immediately you return the cylinder to the delivery boy. Now I am left with only 1 minute. I utilize this 1 minute to thank the management of Ethiraj College, the organizers, particularly Vijayalakshmi Madam, who provided me this opportunity to speak to all of you. And I may be a bit enthusiastic in telling how recklessly a consumer is leading his life. It doesn't mean that I am criticizing you. Just it is my humble request to all of you is to change your habits. With this little note, I am concluding my talk. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your inspiring words, sir. We have some questions now. One student has asked, is it really a good habit of a consumer to run behind discounts, offers, and free products?
Wonderful. Really, I don't know who asked this question. I forgot to mention about these discounts also. Discounts is really a craze for women. Addressing the students of a girls' college, I don't know how it missed my mind. Discounts are bogus. They are price manipulations. But we are attracted. But have you ever thought for a minute how a dealer is giving 75% discount on Diwali crackers or 50% discount on online sales? What is the margin, profit margin? That means on which price actually he is giving discount, we never question. They are giving discounts on inflated prices. So whenever you are going for discount, try to ask the seller on which price you are offering this discount. Is it in yesterday's price or today's price or tomorrow's price or inflated price? If he gives a genuine answer for that, yes, you can safely go for discount. Otherwise, don't go.
So, and the next question is, what are the various instances of online scam?
Online scam are many hacking, phishing, vexing. There are many technological words probably I may not be able to read out now. But one thing is usually what you are getting to your mobiles. 94% of the age group of 18 to 24 are having mobile wallet. Lakshana, do you have a mobile wallet?
No, sir.
No. Okay, you're safe. So there you get so many. Whenever you are passing on even a small money of 10 rupees or 20 rupees through your mobile wallet, your bank account of 2000 rupees may be lost. That is one thing these cyber thieves are doing. They are stealing away your uh, important details, personal details. So that is when you lose those details, definitely you are prone to any cyber attack. And similarly, in ATMs also, when you insert the ATM card in the ATM machine, some unscrupulous fellows who are who have the access to that kiosk, they are cloning your ATM card, the debit card you have inserted into the ATM machine. They are making another card, and from there they are using that card for purchases, and your account is debited because they are using your card only. These are the prominent attacks online. So these are all the online scams, and believing lottery tickets and all is your foolishness. Know that when you enter into internet, you are bound to be hacked. You are bound to be cheated. You are in a trap. As far as possible, don't go. If it's a must, go to a secure website. HTTPS. That's the guarantee that no hacker will be there. But even then, I myself will not believe even that security arrangement. Yesterday, only Government of India has conducted an interesting debate in which I suggested to them that they'll have to provide us antivirus free of cost. That is one good thing the Indian government can do for its consumers, because they are taking a lot of money in every transaction from consumers as service tax. They are not spending that money for consumer welfare. Instead, they can give us the security on our mobiles so that we can safely enter into anything and stop these scams. And there is no international cooperation. When once you are trapped in the online, if an African fellow traps you, our Indian laws will not be made applicable there. Then how can you get back the money? There is no international cooperation. Our government should try for international cooperation, then only we are safe.
So, and the next question is, what are the ways to find out whether sellers are manipulating the price of a product, sir?
There is no mechanism, I have already said in my talk. There is no price regulation. Ours is a mixed economy, except when the products are so scarce, like our onion and tomato. Onion pay 1 kg goes up to 100 rupees. Tomato goes up to 60 or 80 rupees. At that point of time, government intervenes and try to sell these products through ration shops or some other place. But for that, they believe that market mechanism automatically controls this price increase or abnormal charge of prices. Invisible hand, that's what Adam Smith said long years ago, that stabilizes the market. But that invisible hand is not seen nowadays. Either the consumers must become the invisible hands or the government must become the invisible hand and try to restrict. Who is now responsible for such a big hike in petroleum prices? Don't you think that petroleum price hike would automatically lead to price hike in the markets? Then who is to be blamed? This is a vicious circle. So price manipulations are very difficult to describe, but I have sufficiently warned you that the prices, the MRP that is being printed on the packet is not reliable price. This is inflated price. So enjoy as much discount as possible. At the same time, be careful about the quality. This much only I can tell.
So, the next question is, what are the important aspects to be kept in mind by consumer while purchasing goods related to the quality of goods?
It is really a good question. I need to take an example for this because all of you are girls and probably may be wearing some gold chain in your necks. So be careful about this. You are going to the market along with your parents, or at times to purchase a gold ring for on a birthday, you go alone and you don't know how to really examine the quality of the gold. There is an electronic item or a machine which measures the quality of gold. So if you are purchasing a thin chain or a thin bracelet or a ring, you can definitely rely on that machine. Put the thing on that machine, and you will definitely know to what carat it responds. If it is 22, almond gold is 22, you are guaranteed. If it is less than 22, there is some kind of cheating there. Likewise, you will have to. Similarly, why I am taking this gold is you will have to keep your ears and eyes open. Quality, take an experienced person along with you. This is one aspect. Second thing, before purchasing it, because this is a costlier item like laptop or gold or any other thing, you need to have an experienced person along with you to select the item. Don't think under the impression that I know everything. You don't know. Simply saying, a consumer at your age may not be knowing a lot of things. So take an experienced person. That's the only way you can select the quality. And now gold is even sold with cadmium. And they say that at the time of remaking it, there will be no loss or shortage of gold. But when you change the gold ornament after 10 years or 15 years, you are in advance paying a lot of money in the name of cadmium. That is not good. What about the interest you are paying after 15 years because you are changing the gold ornament to other ornament to avoid the shortage? You are paying in advance 15 years in advance. That is not a small amount because they charge for every gram. So these precautions if you take, definitely you are a wise person. This is where actually informed consumer is required.
So, sir, we are done with the questions. Thank you so much for your valuable insight on the webinar topic, sir. It was an enlightening session for all the participants. Thank you once again for patiently answering all the queries of our enthusiastic participants. Now I request Ms. Yamuna, the Treasurer of Citizen Consumer Club, to propose the vote of thanks.
To one and all present here. On behalf of the Citizen Consumer Club, Etharaj College for Women, I deem it a great honor and a privilege to propose a vote of thanks on this memorable occasion. First and foremost, I sincerely thank our Honorable Chief Guest Dr.P.V.V.S.Murthy sir for finding time in his busy schedule and gracing us with his presence and for sharing his knowledge with us. Thank you very much, sir, for your highly informative speech. My sincere thanks to the management of Etharaj College for Women for giving us the opportunity to organize this event. I thank our principal and secretary, Dr. S. Kodai ma'am, for her incessant encouragement. My heartfelt thanks to the Vice Principal Aide, Dr. Usha Rani ma'am, and Vice Principal Self-Supporting Dr. Usha Priya ma'am for their constant guidance. A special thanks to Dr. V. Shanti ma'am, Head of the Department Corporate Secretaryship Aided, and Dr. R. Gita Lakshmi ma'am, Head of the Department Corporate Secretaryship Self-Supporting for their ceaseless motivation. I extend my thanks to Dr. R. Vijayalakshmi and Mrs. K. Vijayalakshmi, Faculty Coordinators, Citizen Consumer Club for the unconditional support. I also extend my special thanks to the office bearers of Citizen Consumer Club, Ms. Kavya Lakshmi President, Ms. Shweta Vice President, Ms. Mohana Jayalakshmi Secretary, Ms. Lakshna Joint Secretary, Ms. Nandana Deepak Joint Treasurer for their hard work and dedication. I also thank the committee coordinators Divya Nandini, Fatima Afra, Janani, and Nachal for their assistance and coordination. Last but not the least, I thank our beloved audience for making this event a grand success. Thank you all.
Thank you, Yamuna, for expressing gratitude on behalf of Citizen Consumer Club, Etharaj College for Women. Feedback form for e-certificate has been posted in the comment section. Thank you all.